Welcome, riders! The other day I asked my dad for ideas on videos to make, and one of his suggestions was a video on shooting dark rides. This piqued my interest as I really enjoy shooting dark rides, especially riding them with others, be it family or friends, but I've never really ranked them or given much thought into which ones I prefer over others. When researching which ones I've actually ridden, I realized I've forgotten that I've ridden a handful, so I thought it'd be fun talking about rides I often don't get to talk about. First, I have two honorable mentions. The first one is the XD Dark Ride at Castles and Coasters. I would not classify this as a true shooting dark ride, even though in a way it is one. I don't feel comfortable comparing it to the others on this list, but it was a fun ride, and for the record, I did beat my dad. The second honorable mention is the Flooded Mine at Silver Dollar City. I am not ranking this with the others because, quite honestly, I hardly remember anything about the ride. I've only ridden it once, and it was all the way back in 2013, so I'm definitely due for a re-ride. To kick off the official countdown, I have Buzz Lightyear's Space Ranger Spin at Magic Kingdom coming in at number 11. This is another ride I have not ridden in a long time, but I remember it being slow, the targets were hard to hit, it just felt like the targets are cardboard cutouts to me. I know I just really upset my old supervisor and friends and family for putting this last on the list, but Disney's not perfect and I will not pretend that it is. Coming in at number 10 is Boo Blasters on Boo Hill at Kings Island. Having a shooting dark ride is better than not having one at all, but I really wish my favorite park could have a better one. The best part of this ride is the air conditioning. Other than that, it's pretty generic and old. Shooting ghosts is pretty basic and unoriginal, and I have a hard time getting a good score on this one. It's nothing special. Coming in at number 9 is Den of Lost Thieves at Indiana Beach. This is another old one, but I feel like it has some character. I like that it was easy to get a high score, even with some of the targets seemingly not working. I also like that it had a portion outdoors. The drawback with this one is that you can't ride it with more than one other person, and if you're big like me, you're probably riding it alone. It's still fun, but it's not as competitive as the others on this list. I've only ridden it once, but I'm excited to get on it more this season. Number 8 is Gobbler Getaway at Holiday World. This is another one where it's old and it feels kind of cheap. It's hard to score well, and I feel like all the targets don't work. But this ride has a lot more character, and it's got a unique theme. This placement really piggybacks on the theme, honestly. I find it funny, and you can't find it anywhere else. Coming in at number 7 is Ghostwood Estates at Kennywood. You guys like the only picture I took of this ride? I think it's a pretty good one, if you ask me. This is the last time I'll say this, but the targets can be quite tricky to hit on this one too. Even though this ride has another uninspired ghost theme, the sets are a step up from a ride like Boo Blasters. However, the best part of this ride is the pre-show. I was not expecting it, and I thoroughly enjoyed it. Now we're getting into the more unique rides. Number 6 is Wonder Mountain's Guardian at Canada's Wonderland. This ride is confusing. It's actually a roller coaster. You board inside the mountain, and then it starts with a lift hill outside the mountain, followed by a short roller coaster section that meanders back into the mountain. From this point forward, you kind of forget that you're in the mountain. It's a screen-based dark ride, but it feels like the screens are so far away and the resolution on them is pretty poor, and the scenes are quite weird. But the finale of this ride is absolutely fantastic. Fast forward 10 seconds if you want to avoid spoilers, but the drop track is absolutely awesome, and it's much better than Hagrid's. Coming in at number 5 is Reese's Cup Fusion at Hershey Park. This is another screen-based ride that I feel the screen is a little bit too far away, but it's a much better shooting experience. The targets are plentiful, they're energetic, and the ride's just super colorful, and overall, a thumbs up for me. However, I wouldn't recommend waiting a long line for it. My lone ride only happened because I happen to have Fast Track that day. This always has one of the longest lines in the park, and I would recommend one of the bigger coasters over this. Coming in at number 4 is Justice League Battle for Metropolis. I'm still extremely upset I was not able to ride the Spanish version at Six Flags Mexico last month. So for now, this only includes the Six Flags Great America and Six Flags St. Louis installations. So far in this list, this is the shooting dark ride with the most competition. It's super easy to play with the whole family or a large party and compare scores during the ride and afterwards. The targets are plentiful and responsive. The vehicle has great movement. There's even a couple animatronics and effects. For Six Flags standards, they knocked it out of the park with this one. Coming in at number 3 is Knott's Berry Tales Return to the Fair at Knott's Berry Farm. This one really surprised me. I knew Voyage to the Iron Reef was trashed on, but I never heard anything about Berry Tales. The shooting on this game was extremely fun and addictive. This attraction also smells amazing, which I can't say about the others. Coming in at number 2 is Men in Black Alien Attack at Universal Studios Florida. This and Wonder Mountain's Guardian are the most thrilling shooting dark rides I've been on. Men in Black has some awesome laterals at 2 points in the ride that are extremely fun. This ride grew on me more with each ride. Once you get the tips and tricks, it's extremely fun and addictive. It's a very long ride too, and usually has one of the shorter waits at the resort. Coming in at number 1 is Toy Story Midway Mania. I have been on both the installations in the States. I love this ride. It's extremely addictive. The premise of the ride going through various minigames is a ton of fun and extremely competitive. It's a total workout too, and you're exhausted afterwards. But it feels so rewarding when you beat the whole family. This is how you do a shooting dark ride. With all that said, that's all I got for this video. Like the video if you liked it, and subscribe to the channel so you don't miss anything. Leave a comment if you like. I'd love to interact with you guys. Push down, pull up, exit to the right. Hope you enjoyed the video, and go have your greatest day yet. Choo-choo, bye.